Commander Zexthul studied the holographic display floating before his 6 eyes, each one focusing on different aspects of the tactical readout. The blue-green planet below seemed defenseless. Primitive electromagnetic signals, basic satellite, networks, and no evidence of faster-than-light technology. Perfect for resource extraction. "Initiate planetary scan for rare Earth deposits," he commanded, his mandibles clicking with satisfaction. The Korthak Empire had conquered 47 worlds using this exact protocol. Drop in, overwhelm the natives with superior technology, extract valuable minerals, move on. Simple, efficient, profitable. The initial bombardment was meant to be surgical, destroy military installations, cripple communication networks, and demonstrate overwhelming force. Within 6 hours, resistance would crumble, and negotiations for surrender would begin. It had worked every time. Lieutenant Vexhara's antennae twitched nervously as she reviewed the first reports. "Commander, the primitive defense installations were eliminated as planned, but..." "But what?" Zexthul's voice carried the authority of 3 decades of conquest. "They're not surrendering, sir. In fact, their response is unprecedented. The first indication that something was wrong came 12 hours after the initial attack. Instead of desperate pleas for mercy transmitted through crude radio waves, the humans had gone silent. Completely silent. No communications, no electromagnetic signatures, nothing. Perhaps we hit them harder than anticipated," Zexthul mused. "Send reconnaissance drones to the major population centers." What the drones found defied all tactical models in the Korthak database. The humans hadn't scattered in panic or hidden in caves like the Zephyrians of Kepler 442b. They hadn't attempted futile counterattacks like the warrior clans of Proxima Centauri. Instead, they had simply disappeared. Major Keltar materialized on the bridge, his stealth suit shimmering as it deactivated. "Commander, I've completed ground reconnaissance of 12 major urban centers. They're empty, not destroyed. Empty. As if the entire population just vanished." Zexthul's middle pair of eyes focused on the major, while his outer eyes continued monitoring ship systems. "Casualties from our bombardment?" "That's just it, sir. Minimal infrastructure damage. They evacuated everything. People, vehicles, supplies, before our strike even hit." "How did they know exactly where we would target?" The answer came 3 days later, when every electronic system on the Korthak fleet simultaneously displayed the same message in perfect Korthaki script. "You came for our resources. Let us show you what our most valuable resource really is." The image that followed showed a human female, middle-aged by their species standards, sitting calmly in what appeared to be an underground command center. Behind her, screens displayed detailed schematics of Korthak ship designs, complete tactical assessments of their fleet composition, and most impossibly, real-time internal surveillance footage from inside their own vessels. "Greetings," the human said, her voice carrying a disturbing calmness. "I am Dr. Sarah Chen, and I represent the Emergency Coalition of Earth. We've been watching you for the past 72 hours, since your ships entered our solar system. Actually, we know about your 47 previous conquests. We know about your extraction protocols. We know about the Korthak Empire's expansion patterns. We know everything." Zexthul's skin shifted to the deep purple of alarm. "How is this possible? Our communications are quantum encrypted." The human continued as if hearing him. "You're wondering how we accessed your systems. The answer is simple. We didn't. You told us everything yourselves. Every electromagnetic emission, every quantum fluctuation, every microgravity distortion your ships created, all of it is data. And humans, well, we're very good with data. Lieutenant Vexhara's console erupted with warnings. Commander, they've taken control of our navigation systems. Impossible. Our technology is centuries ahead of... Actually, Dr. Chen interrupted. Your technology is quite impressive, but it's also logical, systematic, and predictable. You've optimized for efficiency and raw power. We've optimized for creativity and adaptation. We don't need to match your technology. We just need to understand it better than you do. The fleet's weapon systems powered down automatically. Life support remained active, but propulsion and communications were completely compromised. They were trapped, floating helplessly in Earth's orbit. Here's what's going to happen, Dr. Chen explained with the patience of a teacher addressing students. You're going to send a message to your empire. You're going to tell them that Earth is off limits, not because we'll fight you, though we will, but because we'll make you fight each other. On every screen throughout the Korthak fleet, detailed, files began appearing. Battle plans for 47 conquered worlds, resource extraction reports, internal empire communications discussing taxation policies and colonial rebellion suppressions. Most damaging of all, evidence that the Korthak High Command had been systematically lying to their own military about resource distribution and colonial conditions. We spent 3 days learning everything about you, Dr. Chen continued. Your political structure, your economic systems, your social hierarchies. We know which worlds are planning rebellions. We know which commanders are questioning orders. We know which colonies are being exploited beyond sustainable levels. Would you like us to share this information with them? Commander Zexthul felt his certainty crumbling. In 72 hours, these primitive humans had accomplished what the Empire's intelligence services couldn't do in decades: complete penetration of secure systems and comprehensive analysis of political vulnerabilities. "What do you want?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. Dr. Chen smiled, an expression that somehow managed to be both friendly and terrifying. "We want you to leave. We want you to tell your empire that humanity's greatest resource isn't rare, earth minerals, or strategic location. It's our ability to learn, adapt, and outthink problems that seem impossible. We don't just survive. We understand. And what we understand, we can turn against you." The screens went dark. 30 seconds later, all systems came back online, except weapons. A simple navigation route appeared, leading directly out of the solar system. As the Korthak fleet departed Earth's orbit, Commander Zexthul composed his report to the High Command. It would be the first time in Empire history that a world had been declared unconquerable, not due to superior technology or military might, but because its inhabitants were simply too dangerous to underestimate. The humans never fired a shot. They didn't need to. They had done something far more effective. They had proven that intelligence, when properly applied, was the most powerful weapon in the universe. And somewhere deep in Earth's underground networks, Dr. Chen was already analyzing the next potential threat, because humans had learned long ago that the best defense wasn't preparation for the last war. It was preparation for the war no one saw coming.